So hello everyone, today we're going to be working on this illustration. It's kind of a thirst trap, but also not really because I want to experiment with having really bright, bold, tropical inspired colors with a lot of green, red, and a pop of orange / yellow. So in this video, we're just going to color it in today. Yeah, really chill, pretty impulsive one, but I hope you're into that. Yeah, let's go. I want to talk about just the random shit I've done lately. So last week, as of recording this video, I've just spent like my midweek hanging out with my friends. So on Wednesday, my friends and I went to watch the fucking Minecraft movie, of all things. Honestly though, this is not like a movie review or anything, but I just want to say that I adore the Minecraft movie. Like the first 5 minutes of Minecraft Steve, starting the movie off with the children yearn for the mines, and then him directly in front of the mines. And then, with no montage whatsoever, we immediately cut to him as an adult in front of the same mines with the same old man as the gatekeeper, and he just did a cheap trick and he walked through the mines, and then he fucking found like the Minecraft crystal or whatever. Okay, spoilers by the way. I'm gonna really go off here because I want to talk about this movie while it's still fresh in my head, and I'm giving you this context because there's this somewhat irrelevant side plot that made me giggle and inspired me to finish like this fic that has been in my KIV for the longest time since last year. So yeah, with that in mind, let me continue my little ramble. So the overarching plot of this movie, it happens in a single day. In real world time, it happens in a single day, but in the Minecraft world, it occurs over like I think several days and several nights. I think maybe 3 to 5 days. It's a very fast paced movie, but a lot of shit happens. So they go to this. So the main cast. I nearly said Hank. No, his name is Henry. Henry the garbage man. Henry's sister. I forgot her name, Natalie, and a black woman. They go to the Minecraft world somehow by accident because they went to the mines Minecraft Steve went to, and they go to this world and somehow they find themselves in this larger plot of making sure this life-sustaining crystal doesn't end up in the evil hog witch's hands, which you will use to create which you will use to cause unyielding suffering and environmental ruin for the Minecraft overworld, which is currently thriving, green, and beautiful. That's essentially what's happening. So they're just trying to make sure the big bet doesn't get her way. Lots of shenanigans ensue. We have the old man 𖤣. We get somewhat heartfelt moments with Henry. With the old man 𖤣. We also get some like sibling development between Henry and Natalie. Very minimal, but we do get those moments anyway. There's also just pretty decent CGI. Like I liked the environments. I thought they were very beautiful, and I thought that the editing was so fast paced. It's kind of hard to watch, but it's iconic. It just shows that this movie doesn't take itself super seriously and that it's marketed towards kids, which I appreciate. I appreciate its self-awareness and unwillingness to be moralizing. I liked it. But now, this is where the irrelevant side plot comes in. So for context, the characters enter the Minecraft overworld through a portal created by this life-sustaining crystal. But that doesn't mean this portal is one way, it's two ways. Okay, so people from the Minecraft overworld can enter our real world as well. And also, the Minecraft overworld is populated by NPCs called the villagers. And it just so happened that on one night, one of the villagers walked through the portal and ended up in the real world. Okay? He ended up in the real world somehow. He ends up on the sidewalk at night where cars are like running through. He is not a jaywalker, so he has no idea what the fuck is going on. Okay, he missed the car like 2-3 times. He barely escaped getting hit. And when the road looked clear for once, he tried to jaywalk. And when he jaywalked, guess who knocked him over with their fucking Grand Jeep Cherokee? It is none other than Henry's fucking school principal. Okay, so her lore is that her husband Clementine divorced her. Okay, she's recently divorced, is the talk of the town, and she hits this villager with her Grand Jeep Cherokee and was like, oh my god, not again. She runs out the car and is like, oh my gosh, please don't sue, are you okay? And then she looks at the villager and somewhat flirtingly says, oh my gosh, your head is so big. And then she takes him out to dinner. Okay, and then cut to the shenanigans of the main plot. And then after that, we have this very terrible fade-in where we see like fire b-roll. A very terrible transition to fire b-roll. And then we see like the villager and the principal having a good time talking. Throughout the whole time as she's talking, the villager does nothing but grunt, like, okay? And even though his replies are limited to just that, the principal says, I wrote this down because if you're lucky, you can actually find these clips on YouTube. Just type like Minecraft movie villager something date scene. You'll find it easily. But anyways, because this scene was so iconic, I've decided to basically plagiarize some of these lines in my fanfiction, and obviously I will give credit, but I wanted to give these lines a shout out because when I first heard them in theaters, I fucking cried. It was amazing. So throughout the day, as I've said, the principal is mainly the one talking, while the villager doesn't say much, right? So she starts their conversation by saying like, my husband divorced me. Okay, she's like, my husband divorced me. Let me look for the line in my fanfiction because I basically lifted it. Personality. Okay. She said to him like, I think he didn't have a personality to explain why she divorced him. That is, until I met you. And then like the villager's like, I think, and then another line she says as well is, I feel like you get me and that you are an incredible listener. Only people with emotional intelligence are good listeners. And he's like, And then after that, she's like, I had a great time. It's gonna take me a lot of courage to invite you over to my house for dessert. And he agreed. Okay, the villager agreed. So guess what? They scored a date. Okay, they scored a date. I bet they kissed as well. Okay, good for them. And then we hear nothing from these two. We don't hear a single thing from them until the end credit scene. It opens with the principal giving the villager a breadstick, and then a secretary walks in and says, Principal, we have a visit. No, sorry. Principal, your ex-husband is here. He says it's an emergency, to which she says, I suddenly remembered now that her name is Darlene. So the principal's name is Darlene. I will use them both interchangeably. But the principal says, well, you can tell him that... Wait, what does he say? Wait. Well, you can tell him that I want nothing to do with him. That he blew it. That he had his chance. Oh, he had his chance, right? And then the ex-husband storms in and says, are you kidding me, Darlene? This is the guy? And then Darlene's like, too bad, Clementine, you had your chance. And then the villager fucking starts talking in a British accent. And when I heard that, I started laughing. Let me try to remember what he says word for word, because I feel like I need it tattooed in my brain. So, the villager says, "She is right, Clementine. You totally blew it." You totally blew it. And now I am profiting. And now I'm reaping the fruits of your mistake. Like, bro, cook that line. And then it temporarily cut to Clementine's like distraught expression. And then the villager continues. And the villager says, let me try to remember. You see, when she hit me with her grand sheep Cherokee, I was struck with a love so powerful that it crossed the barriers of conventional speech, and now I speak human while she speaks villager. And then Darlene follows up with villagers be like, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh, nyeh," which roughly translates to, "Ever since I hit you with my car, I knew you were the one." And the villager replies yes, and she's like, "Oh, darling, you feel the same?" And villagers speak as well. And then the villager continues in English, saying, ever since I've met you last night, I've always wanted to say, will you marry me?" And then Darlene's like, "Yes, 1,000 times yes." So, dude, you should watch that video. Like, if you haven't watched the Minecraft, if you've watched the Minecraft movie, I need you to tell me how you felt about this scene, because apparently in the comments of these videos, a lot of people said that they weren't satisfied with his voice because they thought they're gonna use like his elemental animation voice. But to me, as someone who knows nothing about the lore, I think this is fucking hilarious, because this whole movie we were told over and over again that these villagers, for the life of them, can't talk, and yet here they're speaking fluently, more fluently than me. So that is peak comedic value. I love that twist so much. It made me so happy. So yes, how did any of this relate back to my fanfiction? Well, my fanfiction, which I just finished, is about Sabo Law, where Sabo is Law's Uber driver. And Sabo is a shit Uber driver. Like, I started writing this while at work last year in my architectural firm internship, where I was in my Jack's Films phase, where I was delighted by his video titled like, "Your Uber driver is here, but he sucks." And so I've started like every section of my short little fic with one such horrible line. I did it this way because some of these lines made me cackle at work, and I wanted to honor that crackhead chaotic energy into my prose. So let me read to you a little bit of like what I've lifted essentially from these videos. Law asks, "Did you kill someone?" To which Sabo replied, "Not intentionally." And then again, "Oh, you're leaving the bar too?" What a coincidence. The chicken fries were delicious. And then, "At least be grateful that I know where you live." Let me see. "Do you remember the time?" So Law says, "Do you remember the time you knocked me over with this very car?" Oh, Sabo made a face. "You wouldn't happen to know how to change a license plate, do you?" Let me see if I have another one. If I have another like iconic one. "Finally, someone worth kidnapping." Yeah, so I know this fic doesn't sound very funny when I say it, but trust me, it's funny to me, and I like it a lot. And that's the point of fanfics, right? We're just here to have fun and be silly. And so, where does the Minecraft like side plot fit into all of this? Well, the Minecraft side plot is actually integrated as a flashback to their actual first meeting. So I was like, for the longest time, I felt that my Uber driver AU fic isn't really completed. So I put it on hold for a very long time until I saw the Minecraft movie and I fell in love with the side plot. And I figured I need to include this side plot as sort of like a flashback sequence to sort of give these people more depth, as if 3,000 words is adequate to give people depth. But yes, I wanted to include the Minecraft. I wanted to like rewrite the Minecraft like side plot to suit Sabo Law, to give them more depth, to, you know, make it funnier, make it sillier. Like Sabo knocks Law over with his car and it's like, oh my gosh, please don't sue, I'll take you to dinner. Meanwhile, unlike the villager, Law absolutely hates this. He thinks Sabo kidnapped him. And when Sabo gets all delusional and says crap like, let me read to you the line again, and he says crap like, I feel like you get me and that you're an incredible listener. When Sabo says shit like that, Law replies with, are you drunk? And then Sabo says, no, I'm as high as a kite. Law kicked him under the table. Law kicked him from under the table. What the fuck? Blondie laughed. Apparently, when he calmed down, he said his name was Sabo. So yes, I just thought it was a really funny way to, you know, integrate more stolen content into my fic. And yeah, give it a few more days and this fic would be out into the world. Yeah. Okay. So I've seen that I've gone completely overboard with this ramble, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I can't believe I fucking talked about the Minecraft movie. But yes, thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.